Okay, everyone. Just started week 2 of the RP templates. It's a non-training day. It's Sunday, no training today. Weighed myself yesterday morning was 178. Started off at 181 a week ago. So down about 3 pounds, which is good. Weighed myself on Friday post-workout was 179.9. So didn't see a whole lot of progress there, but yesterday morning at 178, even. That's a 3 pound decrease in 1 week. So this morning I haven't eaten yet. We've been up. I'm going to go through my morning routine a little bit just to show you all what I do every morning, or when I can cook a breakfast. This is what it pretty much looks like. Okay, so I start off with drink every morning. Since it's the non-training day, I'm not going to have any caffeine the rest of the day, so I put jet fuel. It's basically a caffeine supplement in here with some thermogenic stuff. That goes in the morning, drink on an empty stomach. So instead of coffee, I'll have something like this, but if I know I'm going to have coffee, I won't take the jet fuel or some other caffeine product. And then creatine, 1 scoop goes in. Typically, I have taurine to take with the creatine or some type of carbohydrate source, but because the template doesn't call for any carbs this morning, I'm just going to take it as it is right now. And then I've got a greens powder. I use Cyto greens. Basically, there's a bunch of powdered greens in here, spirulina. It's supposed to help with performance and utilization of oxygen in the body. So, Cyto greens a scoop, jet fuel a scoop, creatine 1 scoop. We're going to add some water to it. And then as far as other supplements go, I've got glucosamine, an allergy pill, B vitamin complex, and magnesium. Okay, also one of the first things in the morning, I'm going to go with some type of water or water-like product. So I picked up this last night. This is from Kroger. It's a key lime naturally flavored sparkling water beverage. It's sweeter than I thought it was going to be. So if you like sodas and things like that, this will work for you. I'm typically drinking something like the Perrier or Pellegrino in the morning. It just helps to kind of fill you up before you get started, like we talked about in the slides. Also, another good one is LaCroix. This is a great way. They come in a bunch of different flavors. If you start drinking this first thing in the morning, it's going to help you feel fuller so that you don't have to eat as much, especially if you're used to eating a lot of carbs in the morning and then you're going to no carbs in the morning. This will certainly help you get through, especially to your next meal. Okay, here's what I got this morning for this setup. What we got here, if we look at the template and we look at non-weight training day, 6 ounces of lean protein source, 2 small handfuls of greens, 1 serving healthy fats. Okay. So what we got here, got the scale set up. I've got about 3 ounces right here. 3.05 ounces. We'll take a little bit off of there. I thought it was about 3 earlier. Okay. So 3 ounces of 90% lean ground beef. Over here we've got some garlic. Egg beaters. So egg beaters, because I need 6 ounces of lean protein, that's going to be 36 grams of protein. So my 3 ounces of meat is going to be 18 grams. I've got 2/3 of a cup of egg beaters. Okay, 2/3 of a cup of egg beaters. That's going to be about 10.5 tablespoons of that. So that's going to be about another 18 grams of protein there. Okay, so for my 2 handfuls of vegetables or greens, so there's spinach, I have some onions, and some mushrooms. Okay, so those are all going to go together. For seasonings, over here there's this Creole seasoning as well as some cumin. Just going to put those all in a pan. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to fry up the beef, the onions, and the mushrooms. Once those are cooked fairly through, I'm going to add the eggs to it, and then the spinach. We'll wilt that down, and we'll take a look at how this goes. Okay, so there's some options for fat sources here. So I have 1 serving of fats that I'm allowed for this meal. I can use this, which is a Pam nonstick cooking spray. It's coconut oil. It has 0 grams of fat. Then I can use any other source of fat later on. If I wanted to use butter today and then get the other 2/3 of my fat from sources that are on the list. I'm going to use olive oil today, so I get to use olive oil, and I get a full tablespoon of olive oil. We're going to measure that. I'll put that in the pan. Now, my other option would be, instead of using the egg beaters, I could actually use 3 whole eggs. So those 3 whole eggs would have 15 grams of fat. It would also have 18 grams of protein. It would be the same as using the 2/3 of a cup of egg beaters here as far as the protein content goes. So our tablespoon of olive oil goes in the pan. We're going to get that started to heat up here. What I'm also going to do at the same time, I'm going to start cooking the ground beef patty here. So a lot of you talk about being able to cook for your family or having to cook 2 separate meals. We don't necessarily have to do that. So we can cook all of these things together. So I'm going to cook this hamburger patty on this pan over here on this flat griddle pan. And then what I have with the remaining section of ground beef here, I'm just going to brown this up in the pan once we're done. And then this will be ready to go for the rest of the week. I'm going to season this minimally so that if I want to add any other seasonings to it later in the week, I can recook it, reheat it with additional seasonings in it, whatever I feel like for that day. For instance, I know that later on this week we're going to have pasta, so I can have this already pre-cooked. I can measure out the pre-cooked portion, add whatever seasonings to it, add it to my pasta, and make sure it's in the right amounts based on my template. So that'll happen later. We're going to get this patty onto here. I'm going to get this meat in here. We're just going to brown up. The beef. I'm going to add a little bit of the garlic now. I use this jarred garlic. It's just seems to last better for us. It's easier to use. And then right now I'm also going to add the mushrooms and the onions. Okay, the beef is almost browned up right now, so I'm going to add this cumin to it. And now we're going to add in the egg beaters. And I'm also going to add in my spinach. I might have a sip of my LaCroix. So this will be done as soon as the spinach wilts and becomes a little soft. You can cook it to however done you want it to be done. If you like your spinach super soft, I like mine mostly cooked through, but still looking like actual spinach leaves. So this is about done. I'm going to turn the heat off. We're going to add a little bit of this Creole seasoning to it. And check on this burger patty over here. Add a little flip. That'll be ready in a couple minutes. Okay, so while the burger patty is finishing I'm going to cook the rest of the ground beef for later this week. I cleaned out my pan, wiped it out because I don't want any of the residual oil from the olive oil left, because in my meals later this week, I might have to have a half a serving of fat or a full serving. It just kind of depends on what's on the template for that day. So I'm going to eliminate the oil from the cooking process for the rest of the ground beef, and I'm going to use the pan non-stick cooking spray. That's the 0 fat, 0 calorie. We're going to give it a little light spray. I'm going to take the rest of the ground beef that goes in. We're going to start to brown this up at the same time that the hamburger patty is finishing up. So for those of you with a limited amount of time, or you feel like you have to do two separate things, we really don't have to do that. Try to be as efficient as possible, especially when you're cooking your meals. You want to make this simple, efficient, and make it easy to kind of fit into your lifestyle, whatever you have going on at home. Okay, so our ground beef is almost done cooking. All I'm going to add is just a little bit of seasoning to it, just a light amount. This is a mix of salt, pepper, paprika, and garlic powder. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top. And as soon as this is done browning, this will be done. This will go into a container so that I can use it for the rest of the week. Okay, so what we've ended up with here, this is the finished product. We added some sriracha to it, as well as I sprinkled some chili powder on top. And then we've got hamburger patty over here. Kaya's using some ketchup, and she has her pickles. So those of you worried about cucumbers in the morning, again, don't worry about what vegetables you think are morning vegetables. Have whatever you want, what works for you. So we're doing pickles with a hamburger patty. She's not on the RP plan, so she doesn't have to worry about the ketchup. All right, here's the ground beef that I cooked up earlier. We've got the scale over here ready to go, and then the container. So I'm going to put the container on here. We're going to hit the tar. We're going to zero this out so we can see right here. We've got 0 ounces with the container on top. Okay, I'm going to put this in here, then we're going to see how much we have. Okay, so after putting the ground beef in the little container there, we are at 7 ounces. So if so this could actually be two meals for me if I'm on a 5 ounce lean meat category. So if we look over here, if we're looking at a training day, light training day, after 3 meals, 5 ounce any lean protein source, that would be 3.5 ounces or so of cooked. So that's two meals right there left over. So out of that 1 pound of ground beef, I essentially got 3 meals out of it, and only because for this first meal I used some eggs to help supplement the protein source. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the template. So it is a weekend, which makes it a little bit hard to follow sometimes. So for instance, yesterday, upon waking, it's 6 ounces of lean protein for me, 2 small handfuls of greens, 1 serving of healthy fats. That's no problem typically first thing in the morning. However, when you look at the rest of your day, trying to get that in can be difficult. So what I did yesterday on Saturday was I combined meals 2 and 3 because I knew that we would be out and about. So we stopped in at a restaurant to have something to eat. So what I did was I combined meals 2 and 3. It became a larger portion size. I tried to stick to the template as best as possible. So what I was looking at was 12 ounces of a lean protein source, 4 handfuls of greens, 2 servings of fat, and then 35 grams of healthy carbs. So I tried to make sure I tried to fit that profile as best as I could. And then that way I didn't have anything until later in the evening. So for later in the evening, then I had a full meal of the 6 ounce lean protein, 2 small handfuls of greens, a serving of fat, and then 35 grams of carbs. So that way you can kind of still live, get out there, do what you need to do. If you didn't plan for it, if you plan on going out having something to eat at a restaurant, you can still do that. Just make sure you plan ahead and know what your template calls for throughout the day. You can download it to your phone. You can check it out on your phone, or you can have something like this. Sometimes I pack this around with me, and then I can just reference it really quick and easy and know what I need to do. But if I don't have this, I just access it, the spreadsheet on my phone. So just some helpful tips if in case you're out and about and you miss a meal or you skip a meal or you need to combine something, feel free to do that. As long as you're meeting your total calorie content for the day, you're going to be okay. Okay, so Chandra just got back from Hawaii and brought all kinds of really good stuff back with her, like Li strawberry belts and fruit gummies with Li gummy bears, also with Li macadamia nuts, coconut crunch, white chocolate. So nutrition challenge, gonna be a little challenging this week, but maybe these things could be used for pre-workout and intra-workout carbs. So I'm gonna have to look at the carb content on all these things, and but I might be able to use it for intra-workout carbs. Let's talk about tomorrow's meal prep. So this is what I have tonight. I've got this one ready. This is going to be meal number 2 for me tomorrow. So there 5 ounces of lean protein, 2 handfuls of greens, half a serving of healthy fats, 20 grams of healthy carbs. So what I have here weighed out, you have the ground beef that I cooked this morning. There's 3.5 ounces of the lean ground beef. So that's going to be my 35 grams of protein. There is 1 ounce of grated sweet potatoes. There's a handful of okra and a handful of spinach, and then I put a half a tablespoon of olive oil on this. So that's going to be meal number 2 for the day. So that one's packed up, ready to go. This is going to be meal number 3. So here's chicken breast. This is all diced up, ready to go. This is 5 ounces of lean protein. So cooked wise, it's going to be 3.5 ounces of the chicken breast, and then 2 small handfuls of greens. So I have green beans in this one, a half a tablespoon of olive oil. So that's going to be half a serving of fat. And then I don't have any carbs in here, so I'm going to have carbs in a different way for this meal, because this is going to be my pre-workout meal. So for my pre-workout meal, I have this weighed out. On here it says 50 grams of oats. So this is my oat flour. So I'm going to mix this with water. It's probably not going to taste great. I might mix it with some type of other non-carbohydrate based sweetener, maybe like one of those non-calorie sweeteners, something, or I may just choke this down with water. But however the case may be, 50 grams of oats is going to, 50 grams of carbohydrates in this 70 grams of oat powder is going to be a complete meal with this chicken and the green beans. So that's going to be meal number 3. That's my pre-workout meal. Intra-workout, I have these already laid out. So this has my 35 grams of protein in it. So I have 2 of these ready to go. I'm not going to take both of these tomorrow. I'm just prepping for the week here. So those are going to go into my bag. And then for my pre-workout supplements, just got this back in. I love this supplement. It's called the Game Day. It's by Man Sports. So excited to get this back in the lineup. This has caffeine in it and a host of other ingredients. And then I also make my own pre-workout in case I don't want caffeine. And I'll talk about this in the next video. So this is going to be everything I'm going to take with me tomorrow to work, to the gym, to get me started. I'm going to have my early morning meal. Take this with me. Got my Wonder Woman lunchbox ready to go. Just kidding. This is the kids' lunchbox. This isn't mine. But I'm going to pack this too. So this is part of my Sunday night meal prep program. But I'm going to get her meal ready to go. I got mine ready to go. My supplements ready to go. And we should have a good start to tomorrow morning, early Monday morning, starting off at 3:45 a.m. All right, so it's the end of the night. At the last meal of the day, so got the casein here. So 50 grams of casein as far as the total amount of protein goes in water. 2 servings of healthy fat. So what I'm doing with that is 4 tablespoons of peanut butter and then 35 grams of healthy carbs. So there's 2 slices of this oat nut whole grain bread. So I'm going to try to get this all in. I got my best friends hanging out with me, waiting on the crumbs to fall. So I'm just going to try to get this in before bed. It is almost 9 o'clock tonight. So I'm going to get a short amount of sleep, be up at 3:45, start off Monday with everything pretty much ready to go. Just have to cook the breakfast, get everything rolling, and then we should be good. So again, this is a lot of food to have for most people to have at 9 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, whenever you're eating it. Just try to get it in the best you can. I know that it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do. I'm not really looking forward to eating this right now, but I know that I have to do this. It's in my best interest. There's a lot of peanut butter on here, so there's 4 tablespoons of peanut butter, because one serving would be 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, so I have 4 tablespoons of peanut butter and 2 slices of bread. Not looking forward to eating this, but I'm going to get this in. 50 grams of casein. Not looking forward to this, but I'm going to get it in. So here right now, I'm just trying to make it happen. Myself and my best friends who are waiting for possibly a crumb or some peanut butter to fall on the floor. So, but we'll carry on tomorrow. So have a good night.